Atomic Glow is a unique off-season first tech challenge robotics competition hosted at West Bloomfield Middle School. The 2026 event is scheduled for May 9th, bringing together student robotics teams for a high-energy interactive competition. Teams are encouraged to creatively design and decorate their robots with glow elements, adding a visual and artistic dimension to engineering. Here to give us some insight on this exciting event is West Bloomfield Middle School robotics coach and Atomic Glow creator, Chris Haines. Chris, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me on today.
Of course, this sounds like such a cool event, and we love hearing about this kind of stuff happening around Greater West Bloomfield. For those unfamiliar, talk a little bit about how Atomic Glow differs from a traditional robotics competition.
Sure. So the Atomic Glow is an unofficial off-season event with a focus on having some fun. It's based on the traditional game we played in the competition season. But we've modified the playing field. We've changed a bunch of the rules, and the best part, we play the game under black light.
That's awesome, and it's such a cool, I'd imagine that's such a cool aesthetic that it creates for an event like this. What inspired the idea to create a glow-in-the-dark robotics event?
Well, it started out as I've always just wanted to have a WB hosted event period for the middle school level of robotics. However, that's a really large undertaking, especially for somebody who's never thrown an event. So to gain some experience with the hopes of eventually having a traditional event, I thought, let's just do something that's fun. So 3 years ago, I pitched the idea of a blacklight event to my team, and they loved it. After that, we just began working with the district to make it all happen.
That's great. And I'm curious, how does the blacklight environment change the way that maybe teams approach their design or present their robots?
Yeah, so they're encouraged to make their robots react to black light. A lot of teams will use either neon tape or paint to help achieve that effect. Others even 3D print parts using neon or glow-in-the-dark filament to give it that glow.
Interesting. And I'd imagine with an event like this, the students learn quite a few skills to maybe help build or refine these robots throughout this event. Is that right?
Sure is. Yep. They learn CAD. To do the 3D printing, they have to design that part from scratch, and so they learn all those skills. And then putting it all together, just learning how the nuts and bolts come together, and the code comes together, and yeah, it's a lot.
I mean, it sounds like a lot. I mean, full transparency, I don't know really anything when it comes to robotics, but so to hear these middle schoolers tackling these projects and to be creating these creations, I mean, that's just incredible. How does Atomic Glow help promote STEM education within the West Bloomfield community, would you say?
Well, for me, my hope is that it really highlights some of the great things about our robotics program and encourages others to try it out. To see that it's more than just a robot. It really is a program that involves a robot, but it's so much more than a robot itself.
It absolutely is. For those just joining us on the Splash Live, I'm talking with West Bloomfield Middle School robotics coach Chris Haines, who's also the creator of Atomic Glow. And the 2026 event is scheduled for May 9th at West Bloomfield Middle School. Now, Chris, this is the second Atomic Glow event, if I'm not mistaken. How has this event, what was the response like last year, and how have you seen it grow in that time?
Yeah, so last year we started really small. We only had 16 teams there just to test out the idea. We got a lot of great feedback from the people that came. The biggest thing that they said that they liked the most was the atmosphere itself, just being able to go out there and have some fun. Several of the teams worked with us or offered to work with us throughout the last year. They've been giving us tips. They've been giving us help when we're going through the rules and what modifications we want to make. And then this year they actually helped promote the event. So we've actually increased the field size. We're going with 23 teams coming in on Saturday.
That's a pretty big jump, and all these great teams they're going to have a blast at this event, but I'm curious what it's going to be like for the spectators and the community members that are going to be stopping by and seeing this event. What can they expect as witnesses?
Neon, lots and lots of neon. But no, they'll be dancing. There'll be food. You're going to see robots launching balls in 4 different directions. It's going to be a party. It's as much as there is a robotics competition happening, it's a giant party for all of us to just come together and have some fun.
It sounds like a party. It sounds like a blast, and I'm sure people are going to have an amazing time at this. Now, Chris, how would you say this event helps to encourage creativity in addition to technical skills with this robotics event?
Yeah, so this touches a bit on the earlier question about the robots themselves. But in addition, we have a bunch of fun awards that we'll be passing out. And some of them are about things like designing team posters that glow, or coming up with fun outfits to wear at the event.
Awesome. And so many ways for people to enjoy themselves at this event, to immerse themselves in the neon, as you said, and to just watch these robots in action. It's going to be so much fun. Chris, I got a couple more questions before we wrap things up. What do you hope participants and attendees take away from the experience of Atomic Glow?
That this is way more than a robot, and that we're supposed to be having fun celebrating all the great things that we do. It's actually one of our core values. Cheeseburger. I hope attendees new to robotics will see how exciting it can be. I hope they take a trip back to the team pits and talk to the students. They'll see just how much these students learn by being a part of their respective program. I hope participants leave with new friendships and renewed friendships that will lead to more collaborative opportunities next season and beyond. And I hope that everyone leaves with the desire to return, come back, and be a part of next year's Atomic Glow.
I think this is just going to make things even bigger for this event. I think Atomic Glow is going to become much bigger in the years to come. Last question, Chris, where can people go to gain a little bit more information about Atomic Glow?
Yep. Well, they can start off by coming to my team's Facebook page. We are FTC Team 14649. They could also check out our sister team, Digital Dino's Facebook page, which is FTC 22373. And there'll be links out to our program. There'll be pictures from last year's events there. There's also the website, the Atomic Glow. Oh, shoot. What is that address? It's Atomic Glow at Weebly, I believe.
All right, that's going to be some great ways for people to stop by this event, to learn a little more information. We want to see everybody stopping by Atomic Glow. Chris, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Thanks again for having me.